Right, hello and welcome, Kennedy.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
So, are you two sitting next to each other? I mean, what does this mean?
We are in the flesh.
Oh, gossip, secret. More to add to the list.
I thought you were signing with the Eagles, Melita. No, I mean, everyone's talking about it.
No, I'm coming on. Oh, forgot to tell you, I'm coming on Sunday. I will be there.
You're playing, yeah?
No, I'm joking. I will not be playing. Not bringing the basketball shoes though, just in case.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Yeah, just clarify that for everyone who's messaging at the page and whatnot, saying oh, Melita's signing, right? Melita's going to sign. I mean, is that a definite no?
Probably, but I'm staying ready.
Nice, I like it. So, Kennedy, how are you feeling? We are a couple of days before the big cup final.
Yeah, I feel good. I guess I'm just a little tired because I was telling Lita, all we do in practice now is play 5-on-5 the entire time, basically because we have nothing better to do. Like, there's nothing really else that'll prepare us, sort of thing. So we literally just scrimmage 5-on-5 for like an hour and a half every day. We practice every day, except I think for Mondays. So it's been tiring. Today we had practice and you could tell all of our legs were tired, so we just took it easy. But yeah, I'm ready. I think everybody's ready. We've been looking forward to it. So competition, and we like that.
And I guess trophies are a big thing for this kind of London project. What was it that first kind of attracted you to London a couple of seasons ago?
To be honest, I had never even thought about playing in the WBBL. I think I'd heard of it a few times and seen it around, but it was never like, "Ooh, I want to go play in London" or anything like that. And then one day I was just looking through my emails and I saw like Mark Clark pop up, and I had met him previously through GB, so I had known of him, and he was just like, "Hey, we have a new sponsorship deal. Do you want to come play for us?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." The logistics, the money, etc., all of that, and it just seemed to work. And now here I am, 2 years later, and signed for another year. So,
when you saw that email, you saw London. Did that automatically like spark something in your head? Think like, yes, I'll take this definitely over. I don't know, a country where English isn't the native language, or tell me about that.
I think because I played in Germany my first year,
Yeah.
and I lived with somebody who spoke no English, a Russian girl who spoke not a single word of English. She knew how to say hi and like hello, but to have a conversation was like pulling teeth. You had to pull, the translation app out and stuff like that. So you go home for 12 hours of your day in between your two practices, and you can't speak to the person who you live with. And so when I saw London, my mom is English, so I'm like, oh, okay, I've spent time here. I've been here before. I have family here. And you can play in an English-speaking country that has the same type of foods that you eat when you're at home. And I know like Walker's chips or whatever you call them, crisps. I know like all the foods that are here because my mom loves them, and we have them growing up. Like she goes to the British store up the street from our house and buys all the stuff that I eat here now every day. So yeah, it felt like not necessarily I was going away from home in a way, you know what I mean? I had family here and stuff, so it's another home away from home.
And do you think that would attract other Americans to come here?
Yeah, I think so, because I think even Americans on our team, we always talk about like the fact that this is essentially this is America, except you drive on the other side of the road and people have accents. But I think across the world, this is the closest thing that you could get. And I know I have a few friends who play, particularly I have one friend who plays in the WNBA and for the Olympic team, and she loves the fact that she could play in London and play on a Euro Cup team and stuff like that. So she's asked me, oh, what would it be like to play there, et cetera, et cetera. And I don't think we can afford her.
I was just about to say, is this a new signing or?
No, yeah, I don't I'm not sure we can afford to have her, but I'd like somebody like that say, oh, I would love to play in London. I think it speaks to the fact that it's an incredible city to live in and work in.
Before we kind of get onto the cup final, just a little bit kind of about your basketball journey and about yourself so people can get to know you a little bit better. But when did you start playing basketball?
I started playing basketball, I don't know the exact age. I always say like 4 years old. I don't know if that's true or not, but I think that's my go-to number is like 4 years old. But it was basically watching my dad play at like the rec. He always, when we were growing up, he would always go to the rec, or I would go with him and he would play basketball and I would just stand on the sidelines and watch him. My mom was a swimmer, So my sisters were both swimmers, so they kind of gravitated towards her, and I always was with my dad. So it was either like basketball or soccer, t-ball, flag football, stuff like that. So just sports with my dad. I did swimming too, but I didn't love it. Yeah, t-ball, you know, you put the thing on the team. Yeah. So every sport basically I played, but yeah, swimming wasn't my favorite. I got water in my ears all the time, and I can't stand when there's water in my ears. Like I can't even take baths. Is that baths? Bathe? I can't even sit in the bathtub now because if I get water in my ears, like I'll go nuts. Yeah.
But ain't that like when you shower though, and it
No, it doesn't get in my ears when I shower. It's like when I lay back in it and it gets in. It's terrible.
Wait, but who puts their head under when you have a bath, who puts their head back and
I do.
puts the whole face
I haven't washed my hair.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I've given up on like bathing in a bathtub. I'll shower, of course, but no, I can't do the baths.
So that's something I didn't think we were talking about.
I have no idea how we got there.
You mentioned your family there. I feel like I know your dad personally just through interactions on Twitter and the like. But how important is it to have that supportive family network?
I think it's huge. Obviously, like knowing that people are caring about what you're doing and why you're doing it. I think that always makes a difference. Like when you know that somebody's watching you play, or you know what I mean. When you see somebody in the stands or know that they're watching, I think it makes you have to play to a higher level. Or makes you want to hold yourself like accountable for things. So I think for me, knowing that it doesn't matter if I play good, if I play bad, whatever, as long as I do my best and like I know that I'm making them proud back home. And I know like for Sunday we play at 12 p.m. here, but that's 5 a.m. where I live. And I know my dad's already like, oh, I'm gonna get up and watch. And I'm thinking, why? Like it's sleep, it's okay. But for them, this is like it's an exciting time. You know, your daughter plays professional basketball and is fighting for like some type of hardware. So I think it's exciting to always be a part of that.
Yeah, that is nice. Even like with my dad as well, he loves it. He loves coming up, even though we might get slaughtered by like the Lions, for example, he still wants to come. And yeah, it is nice it's like you're playing for something else besides yourself. Yeah. And then do you have like any other talents outside of basketball? Like party tricks or
I do a lot of baking. For our team, we have like a bunch of birthdays. So actually tonight we're baking. The cupcakes are gonna burn because Chantal is supposed to take them out and she's not in here taking them out. Now
I'm right here.
Yeah, they're in the oven. They're gonna burn. I'm like, somebody get them
right now.
No, I bet you don't. But yeah, I would say baking is a good one. I don't really have too many talents. I like to ride the Peloton. Yeah, I would say literally just.
Well, you got to shout out your page. I feel like we're now like what do you call it? The sites that promote other people.
Promoters.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I feel like a promoter every week now. So come on.
Oh, Shake and Bake. Yeah. Our page is called Shake and Bake. Me and Chantal are on it. We post a lot of like baking things that we do for people, but we also cook sometimes. So we try to like do that, but it's really hard to like say for example like pour cupcake batter into a cupcake and record at the same time. So we've been off of it a bit, but yeah, we're gonna get back on it. A lot of birthdays are upcoming. Like we had one on Wednesday and we have one on Saturday and then we have one on Sunday. So it's like there's a lot that are coming up. So yeah, be on the lookout for more posts.
Subscribe.
Get liking.
Yeah.
So you mentioned playing basketball from a very, very young age, kind of following your dad and things like that. But when did you think, oh, this is something I'm pretty good at and I can kind of do it further than just kind of as a hobby?
I know going into like high school, they say, oh, you should choose one sport. And for me, I was choosing between soccer, or like what you guys call football, or basketball. And so I chose basketball. Everybody always says, oh, you should have chose soccer. You were better at soccer. And I'm like, geez, I must have been really good at soccer. You know what I mean? Because everybody always says that. So I'm like, did I choose the wrong sport? But then I'm like here now. So I'm happy with what I chose. But I think probably as soon as you kind of start getting like letters from colleges, you're like, oh, okay, I'm actually good enough to play at like a collegiate level and get my education paid for. I think that's when you know that you're better than you think you are or better than you know you are. So yeah, I would say probably around my freshman year, probably in high school or a little earlier than that, like 8th grade. When people start to notice you as a basketball player, usually that means you're like a decent player and that you can do things. So I think probably around that time.
And then how did like the GB under 20s come about? Because obviously did you know beforehand, like when you was maybe under 16s, like I could play for England, or like how comes under 20?
Yeah, I think my mom actually, we were gonna come over here for something, so we ended up getting all of our passports when I was like, I don't know, I think I had just turned 16, so that's why I missed the 16 cutoff.
Okay.
But me and both my sisters, and then obviously my mom already had her passport. We all got new passports, and I think it just came about basically like there was an under 20 opportunity and I could play. I don't know how. Like I don't know. I have no idea how it came about. I must have gotten a message, I think, from somebody within the GB organization, like an email, and they said like, would you be interested in playing? And I was in college, so obviously I had to get like it cleared through my coaching staff and stuff like that. But my coaching staff that recruited me had just gotten all fired, so it was a new incoming staff. And so I just told them like, hey, I'm gonna go play, blah, blah, blah. And they were fine with it, the new incoming staff, because they couldn't really say anything. They're
they're too new.
So then I ended up getting to play under 20s, and that was awesome. Like I got to meet actually a lot of people who like are now in the WBBL or whatever. So I've actually come into contact with a lot of people who I've ran into here, like Mark, for example, and stuff like that. So it's been, and Chema and stuff coached us. So, and Chris actually too in Newcastle, he coached us as well. So yeah, it was an interesting like opportunity that I didn't really expect, but then I'm like, oh, okay, I'm thankful to have had it, you know?
Yeah.
So kind of looking to the future, obviously there's been a lot of talk about yourself and the GB squad and things like that. How much kind of are you looking forward to being a part of that setup at some stage?
I mean, I guess I'm looking forward to it a good amount. I don't know, everybody always asks me, so, you know, why aren't you playing this and that? And there's not really much I can say about it other than what people already know. But I mean, whenever they need me, I'm ready. I'm not really going anywhere. I'm here for the foreseeable future. And even after that, I still have a British passport. So.
Right, so wherever you play,
yeah,
you can
exactly.
still come back.
So yeah, I mean, I'm always ready. I'm playing basketball, so I guess I am excited for it, and I know that I can make a difference. But then again, you kind of want to like go where you're wanted and needed. So until that happens, I'm good where I'm at, and then when they're ready, I'm ready.
Must be a bit sensitive though. I can imagine getting all the comments. I know like the Hoopers Voice, who have thousands and thousands of followers, also commented on it as well. So I can imagine it's a bit of a touchy subject because you want to play somewhere, but you can't. And yeah, for you, there's nothing you can do about it. But yeah, I mean, in the future, you never know what's going to happen. Yeah. You're ready. So
I think it's like annoying, but also nice to see that like other people are feeling the same way that I am in a way, you know, because that means like I'm not alone. I technically don't have to advocate for myself when so many other people are advocating the same thing. Because I never want to be like somebody who's like on social media, pick me, do this, do that. Like people make choices and choose what they think is best, and that's okay. That's on them. But I don't want to ever be the person who's like diminishing those people's choices or anything like that. So as long as other people are doing it, I can't really control other people. So people are still seeing it and it's still out there.
Right.
So let's get kind of more on this season. So when you came to London, was the talk straight away about kind of going into Europe in the next couple of years and playing that competition? Was that something that was discussed when you first signed?
I don't particularly remember exactly like him saying we're going to go into Euro Cup, but I do remember before I signed again last year. So I was initially signed on a 1 year, and then last year before the end of the season, I signed on a 2 year, and Mark told like the whole world on a Sky Sports interview after a game. And I'm like, oh my God, I found out on like, I hadn't even signed the papers yet. And I found out on an Instagram post I was tagged in, and I'm like, okay, it's fine. But yeah, he definitely said before that basically like this year we would go into Euro Cup. But it wasn't even supposed to be this year. It was supposed to be the next year. So we went in a year early, which for me, I'm like, okay, that's great. It's more competition. It's more fun. But obviously then you don't expect to do as well. And we still ended up doing a pretty decent job.
So tell us about some of the kind of places you've got to visit and through this Euro Cup. Kind of, did you get a chance to see any of the countries, or was it kind of just there and then travel straight back for a WBBL game and then straight out again?
The place we spent the most time was probably Spain, Gran Canaria, because we were there for, I think, like it was a long flight, 4.5 hours or something like that. And then we stayed, I think, 2 days before, and then we played, and then we stayed a day after because we had to fly to Scotland for a game there. So we had to end up staying a day instead of like flying back and then driving 12 hours, which that was like the nicest place we went. So none of us were bothered by that. We were right on the beach. literally got burnt and like went in the water and stuff like that. So that was easily the nicest place we went. The best food. We went to France for the Borges thing, but we were pretty much in lockdown because they had a very strict like COVID policy. So we bussed there for like 12 hours. And then we had to be in the hotel for 2 days straight. The only place we could go was the gym. And then we played the game, and then we got on the bus and drove through the night 12 hours home. So we didn't see really any of France. Where else did we play? We went to Belgium, but that was still same thing, lockdown rules, can't go anywhere. So we basically stayed in the hotel the whole time unless you were going to the gym. And then we went to Germany. And when we went to Germany, they were also on lockdown. So basically, we didn't really get to see a bunch of anything but in Spain. But I mean, it was cool to be able to be in those countries and say you've been there and like cross that off your list. I had been to everywhere but Spain. So I think for a lot of my teammates, it was cool for them to kind of see other places and get a chance to play as well in those places.
And how did you cope with the schedule as well? Because compared to other WBBL teams, some teams are only practicing twice a week. And for you, for you guys, it's pretty much full on. Like, how do you personally deal with the schedule, with the tight schedule?
I like it. I like to stay busy because obviously, like when you just sit around and do nothing, you get bored. And then I'm like, what do I do with myself? So for me, I like it. But I think at times during like the Euro Cup as well, it was just tiring more so like mentally. It's like I said, for the Gran Canaria thing, you travel through the night, you land at 4 a.m., then you have to play a game that morning, and then you have to fly home. So it just got to be really long and taxing. But I think at the same time, I guess that's what comes with it. You know what I mean? So to be able to play at that level and do those things, you have to kind of be willing to take hits in other places. And I think that's where you have to take it. But yeah, for me, I don't mind it, like practicing every day and stuff like that. If I'm not practicing, I'm on the Peloton or I'm out like working out. So it doesn't.
Can we emphasize that, please? We just talked about that schedule, and then she goes and jumps on the bike and rides.
I do.
Well, you don't get to be that good, do you, without putting in the work?
True.
How do you feel your kind of personal season's going so far? How do you feel it's going?
I think it's going well. I mean, anytime you're winning games, then I think you're doing what you're meant to be doing. Obviously, we have new additions and stuff like that, so I guess everybody's role shifts a bit. But yeah, for the most part, I think I'm doing pretty well. We haven't really had to kind of like change anything or do anything crazy, but I think for the most part that we've all kind of stuck and done what we've needed to do, and hopefully that continues up until the rest of the season.
And what has it been like for you with the additional like Joe Leonard and Zania? What's it been like playing with them?
It makes my life easier, I think. I don't have to do as much, I don't really have to like think for other people as much as I've had to before. Obviously, Joe is her resume and everything speaks for itself. If you say her name, you know who she is, kind of thing. Z as well, and then Holly's young and upcoming. So I think for them, like you don't really have to do much. They kind of just come and fit in. It's not where you have to like make them fit in or figure out ways for them to fit. They're just the type of players who can fit in on their own. So I think that's been really helpful for all of us.
Do you have any personal goals, like, for example, try to get more assists than last year or points, break more records, even though you broke a record against my team? We don't talk about that.
To be honest, no. I probably should, because that's things that you can like work towards, and it's always good to have those. But really, I just try to have fun. We always like have these meetings as teams, and I said the other day, like not take it for granted kind of thing, because you never know when your last chance is to play, or when anything could happen where it could be like your last time.
Yeah.
So I think for me now, I've just tried to change my mindset to be thankful to be where I am, and to remember that like how many people would kill to be on a cup final on Sunday, or how many people would kill to be in Euro Cup or living in London playing basketball. So I think to be able to take everything in stride and realize like how blessed we are to be where we are, I think that's probably my biggest goal.
Actually, wait, there was one at the beginning of the season. We was talking about how many triple doubles.
Oh yeah, we made
I literally just remembered.
I wasn't a part of it. You guys were talking about it, making bets on me. I did not bet on myself.
All right, we'll leave that one then.
So you've had a couple of crazy games in the last couple of seasons, a 21 assist game and then the 22 assist game. We talked to Abby last week when she dropped 38 points the week before, and kind of got to the end of the game, didn't realise how many she got, thought she got 20, and then was told otherwise. when you were actually playing those games, did you kind of realize, well, I'm on for a big number here, or what did it kind of talk us through that game?
Well, the one this year against Melita's old team, I was in the game and somebody on the sideline, I think it might have been Holly, she was like, "Oh, you need one more," and I'm thinking, "Oh, okay, I need one more assist for like a double because I swore I had enough like points to have whatever, but I didn't know my assists, and I didn't really care about the rebounds at that point. I was like, okay, I need one more assist to get a double. This is what I kept saying in my mind. I'm like, okay, I think there was like 60 seconds left, and I'm like, okay, I need one more, and I'm like, okay, I swear I have more than 9 assists, but all right, I'll get one more, and then I got it, and everybody's like, yeah, you said it, and I'm like, oh, okay, I got a double, and they're like, no, you got like 22 assists, and I was like, oh, like it was. I was so confused in the moment. Nobody was specifying what I needed one more of or what I needed. I knew I needed one more assist, but I didn't know if it was like to get 10, if it was to do a double. Like I had no idea what it was for. And after the game, I think the table was like, yeah, you got 22 as a record. And I was like, oh, okay. Like I understood it then, but during the game, I was like so confused at trying to figure out what I needed one more of. So yeah.
Sorry, who was that against again? I missed that one. Who was that against?
Who was that against?
A team that's
Let's move on to the cup final then. The main event on Sunday. Big favourites, I would say, London. Kind of, does that add more pressure?
I don't think necessarily it adds any pressure. I think for us, like, we know the level we need to play at and the level we want to be at and the attention that we've brought to the league because of our level that we played at. So I think for us is trying to keep that level regardless of who the competition is. We want to keep our level at a Euro Cup level, regardless if we're playing Caster's Brain or if we're playing whoever in WBBL. So I think for us, our biggest challenge is trying to keep that, not ever like let down or be like, oh, okay, we're good enough to not try hard and still win kind of thing. So I think at the same time, it's a double-edged sword though, because me and Joe were talking the other day and we were talking about a last second, like against Leicester. We had the ball, I think, and me and Joe were like, no, like we don't need to try to score, even if it's a wide open layup, stuff like that. Because you feel bad, you know, when you're beating a team by 40 points and you're still playing hard, because it's not, you don't necessarily feel bad, but you do, you know what I mean? Because it's like you're already beating them, why kick them when they're down, kind of thing. So I think for us is trying to be able to have like a level ground where you're still playing as hard as you can and still doing the best you can, but not doing it in a way that's like arrogant or going to make people upset or annoyed.
But it is also a sold out event. Mark, are you coming?
I'm not. I'm watching it from home. Sky Sports.
Yeah. So how important is it that you guys are going to be on Sky Sports? You're almost like representing the WBBL for the wider public, for them to kind of see what basketball is about. How do you think that's going to affect that?
I think it's cool to have a game on Sky Sports. Obviously, we had the trophy final last year on Sky Sports and then the final on Sky Sports. And I always think it adds like an element of, I don't know, surprise almost, because you don't know what you're going to get out of it, but also like attention, like you had said, it's a big network. Everybody kind of sees things. They come in and they do interviews with us before the game. So it makes it feel like a real event, not just like another game. So I think for that, it adds a level of excitement that people maybe aren't always used to. And some of us might be, but not everybody. So I think it's a new experience for new people, and that can be an exciting thing.
Right. And I think, so me and Ken were previously talking about, even though like it's expected, let's say, for it to be a one-sided game, I think it also raises the level for other teams in the league to try to, let's be like London, let's get the competition up a bit more. So like hopefully this kind of sets a standard, like London is setting setting the standard for where we want the league to be. So I think that's going to be pretty cool too.
And the crowd's obviously been in this year as well. He said near sellout. I mean, last year you had the trophy finals and the playoff finals, but without the crowd. What are you expecting from, I think, maybe 9,000 strong crowd on Sunday?
Yeah, I think crowds always make it more exciting because there's noise. You can't, like, when things happen, people get excited. It makes it for a better event. But I think all of us, like, I've kind of gotten used to no fans being around. So it's like now when they're there, it's like, oh, okay, there's people there. You know what I mean? Unless it's my family.
So you're not going to, like, celebrate?
No, I mean, yeah, you can. But it's different. Like, you get so used to people not being there.
Yeah.
And unless it's like I said, unless it's like your family, like my aunt, she actually lives in York, Easingwold area, and she's coming to the game.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so she'll be there. So for her, that's an exciting thing. Like she's seen me live a couple times, but obviously she's never sat in on a final that's on TV and that kind of thing. And so she's like super excited about that. And obviously, my grandma passed away last year because of COVID, but she also lived in York. My aunt keeps saying like, "Oh, I'm coming for grandma" and stuff like that. So it's a cool experience when you know that people are there for you and you want to, like we said earlier, you want to do well for them and you want to kind of put on a show for them. So the fact that they can now come into the game and watch again, it's, I think, really exciting for those people.
Even though I did say it's going to be a one-sided game, I don't know, because Newcastle now obviously have their new coach and they've kind of put out that they're going to sign new players and returning players. So does that kind of put you on edge a little bit because you're unable to scout? You actually don't know what you're going to get.
Yeah, I think it always is harder when you don't know what you're going to get, not knowing exactly what to expect. But at the same time, we kind of know that we play based on how we go. So if it's left up to us, then we need to do what we're meant to do. So like all power to Newcastle. We have nothing but respect for them. Obviously, we played them in the final last year, and a lot of those players are returning. Different coach and stuff like that. But at the same time, basketball is basketball. And any time that you lace up your shoes and throw a ball up, anything can happen, especially on a stage like that. So for us, I think we've been preparing, and it doesn't matter who they put in front of us. It could be Newcastle, it could be Castor's Brain, it could be whoever.
It could be Melita. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, it could be Melita. You never know. But you have to prepare and get ready for it. Like it's going to be, 40 minutes of a tough battle. And who knows what's going to happen. Like everybody's, London's the favorites, London's this, but Newcastle had a great run last year. They beat incredible teams. So it's literally any given day, anything can happen. So we can't wake up and take it for granted.
And obviously you've played Newcastle once before this season, but a few players have left since then, head coach has left since then. Is that game kind of not meaningless to this game, but is it just needs to be forgotten about? I mean, a 55-point win, I think it was, for London. But is that like not even in your thinking?
Yeah, I think that we haven't really even talked about that game because, like you said, it's a completely different team, different coach, everything like that. Like we didn't even watch the film from that game. Usually we watch film before games. We didn't even stop to watch that film. I think just because it's going to be a completely different system. It's not like not like the old plays or anything like that probably are going to come with this new coach. It's a completely new person who hasn't been with Newcastle before kind of thing. So I don't know. For us, it'll be interesting. Like I said, it's going to be, who knows what's going to hit us, but that's kind of what we have to be able to do is react to whatever comes our way. So I don't know. For all of us, I think we're looking forward to it. Kind of the unexpected is exciting for us because things can become so mundane when it's just the same old. So anytime you can kind of switch things up and get like a new thing coming at you, it's a chance to react to it in a different way.
Right. I think we'll give you some teammate questions now. Okay. So questions that you've got to kind of pick from obviously your squad. So some different ones. So I'll start with who's the best shooter in the squad.
Best shooter, Cassie Breen, I would say 100%. She's ball touches her hands, it's going in. Like, and you can know she's a shooter, and she'll still somehow get the ball and shoot it. Like, so we say in practice every day when she's on the other team, somebody's always saying, "Don't let Cassie get a three. Don't, like, find her, call her out, know where she is." And yet somehow she still ends up hitting like 5 threes, and you're like, it's a shooter. Come on, like, put your hand up. But yeah, she's literally pure shooter.
I remember talking to Cassie, I think it was last season. It was the night before you played Newcastle at some point, and just scored 26 or 28 in the first half. And the night before I said, right, what are your strengths as a player? And she said, well, I'm quite good at shooting.
Yeah, quite good.
That's 28 points at half time.
Literally doesn't touch the rim, doesn't touch anything but straight net. And she's like, "Oh, I'm off today." And you're like, "Okay, Cass." And it's literally, I'm like, "I'm struggling to hit the rim today." And you're straight cash and you're saying you're off. So
funniest moment in the dressing room.
Funniest moment in the dressing room. I don't know. The other day, this is the one that comes to my mind right now. The other day we were playing Leicester, and it was halftime, and we were like sitting there. Well, actually, a lot of things funny happen with Jo because obviously she's a mother, so she's doing a lot of different things in the locker room, like trying to get breast milk ready and trying to do this and trying to do that. Like she's doing she has a whole, like, if there's a bench, she probably has 3/4 of the bench because everybody else is squished together because she has so many things because she's trying to do all these things while she's away from Isla. Like, it must be really tough. But yeah, I would say the other day it was halftime, and Zach, one of our assistant coaches, his name is Zach, he said something, and Z was like, yeah, Zach, why don't you do something? Like, do something for once, something like that. And me and Joe looked at each other, and we were like, what? And everybody was like, oh my God, what just happened? But it was like such an awkward moment because like not everybody heard it, but then some people did hear it. And Z's telling Zach to do something. And it was just, yeah, it was a mess. But honestly, yeah, I don't know. The other day, Holly hit her head on a locker in the locker room. So we had a rough go at Leicester. But yeah, it was one of those days.
Who's most likely to forget a play?
Most likely to forget a play? Steph. Steph is always forgetting plays. Like, she'll just run in the middle of nowhere, not knowing the play. Valentina forgot a lot of plays too. She's hurt right now, but she's also a play forgetter. Yeah, I would say those two are probably the big ones. Fats forgets a lot of plays as well, but she's young. She's not really there a lot, so.
Yeah, but then Steph still manages somehow mess it up, but then she'll get the rebound and go back up again. So
yeah, be in the right
credit
place.
to her.
Right,
Yeah,
right
she's
place,
at the right place, the right time.
But wrong place for us. But for her, it worked out great.
What we got next? Worst taste in music in the dressing room?
Oh, worst taste in music. Paige has some pretty like outlandish stuff. Trying to think about who else.
You can mention yourself as well.
I don't play music in the locker room. Nobody would like my music. It's country. They would be like, what is this garbage? People would probably say I have the worst music. But yeah, Paige has some like interesting rap ones going on. Trying to think about who else even plays music.
You know she's not going to like that.
No, she's not. Everybody else seems to like it. But I'm like, what is this? Usually the main DJ is Shanice. Like, she always has the speaker and is always playing the music, and her music is pretty good. Like, and if you have a request, she'll play it for you. So I wouldn't say anybody necessarily has bad music, but like Paige just has the most like cultural music. I would say different genres and different places that I'm like, oh, okay, I haven't heard this yet.
And then who is always late?
Steph. Again. She's always late. She'll walk in 2 minutes late and be like, but here's the thing. This is why. And we'll go into like a 20-minute excuse about why she's late. We're like, Steph, just pay the $2.50, man, and move on.
Oh, that's the forfeit.
If you're late, you have to pay £2.50, and on the game day it's $15.
Ooh.
Yeah, so yeah, she owes a lot of $2.50s. If you forget your practice jersey, you owe $2.50. She's paid a few of those. So yeah, I would say Steph. She just is forgetful and late, but she means well, so it's all right.
It's not coming off well in this, is just Steph. Let's talk about you then. I've got some quick fire questions just for you, just kind of either or different ones. So let's start with McDonald's or KFC?
McDonald's.
I talked to Chris, Newcastle Chris, a few days. Didn't he try and bribe you with like fast food when you were coming over to England?
Probably. He was always offering me lots of things. I'm like, okay, but no, I'm not a KFC girl. I don't know. In America, KFC is disgusting. So is McDonald's. I wouldn't eat either of them in America. But here, I actually don't mind KFC wings. But yeah, I would say McDonald's. Their new McPlant burger.
Yeah, have you had it? Is it good?
Yeah, it's good. It's it's Beyond Burger, and Beyond Burger is a big American brand. So I'm like, okay, I can eat it. So it's all right. But yeah, I like McDonald's ice cream too, and their apple pie. Yeah, I'm a McDonald's fan.
Pepsi or Coke?
Coke. I don't drink either. Again, I'm not a soda drinker, but my mom loves Coke. So I guess you kind of like pick up on the traits that your parents have. Like, my mom is a Pepsi drinker. I'm sure I would say Pepsi, but yeah, my mom's a Coke girl. Like, and she loves the glass bottle Coke. She says they always taste better.
I think everyone in the UK has one of those cups.
Yeah.
Do you have one, Mark?
Well, the Coke branded ones.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah.
Right, and the next question is sponsored by Melita's Netflix page. Go and follow it.
Ah! Subscribe.
What's your favorite Netflix series at the moment?
At the moment, what am I watching right now on Netflix? I'm watching How to Get Away with Murder. I've seen it, like the TV series, I've seen it, but I've forgotten it all now. So I'm watching that. And then there's another show called Too Hot to Handle. Have you?
Oh, I just finished that actually.
Yeah, okay. I watched season 1 and I skipped season 2. And then the other day I was bored. So I'm like, I told Chantal, I'm like, all right, we're going to put it on and watch it and see how ridiculous it is. And it's just like so, these people can't handle themselves. Like blowing $100,000 in a night because they can't not kiss somebody. And you're like, oh, this is ridiculous.
Is that the one with the weird like Alexa sort of thing that talks to them and stuff?
Yeah, she's good. She's good. But these people are like seriously senile. They need help.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
I skipped all this. I just went straight to season 3.
Oh, season 1's really good. Season 1.
Oh, is it? Yeah, okay, so I'll go back then.
Yeah, go back.
What's your favorite squad number and why?
Squad number, like my favorite number.
Yeah, like jersey number.
Yeah, jersey number. Yeah.
14. That's my number. So, I don't really even know why I have this number. I used to be 22. It was my dad's favorite number, and then somebody had that number. I think when I went to high school. And I had to pick a new number, and my club coach was like, "Oh, 14's a pretty good number." And I was like, "Okay." And I took it, and now it's like stuck. And I'll go other numbers if I have to. Like when I was in Germany, 14 was taken, so I went 23, Michael Jordan. But then I was like, as soon as 14's available again, I want it. So yeah, you kind of get stuck with a number, and that's like becomes like a part of your identity, I guess, doesn't it?
Is it not because Zac Efron wore it in High School Musical? No,
I don't think so. Could be though. We play alike.
What's your favorite Disney film?
Disney film. I don't even know if this is a Disney film, but I like the movie Big Hero 6. It's a cartoon.
That's Disney, yeah.
Yeah, Disney. It's
my favorite. The big Baymax thing.
Hero.
I know I have seen that.
Yeah,
actually.
I absolutely love that movie. It's like my number 1 movie, I would say. But I like Moana and stuff like that. My sister loves Frozen, so anything Frozen is good. I'm not too fussy, but if I had to pick, definitely Big Hero 6.
The new one's good. Have you seen Encanto?
Oh no, but there's a Peloton ride.
You're lying.
Yeah, I swear. A 30-minute one, and it's all music from that movie. So that's the only reason I know what it is. But I have Disney Plus, so I guess I could watch it, but I haven't gotten around to it yet.
Might get me on an exercise bike if you're playing Encanto. Get in.
They do. They have a Moana one. They have like all Disney. They must get money from Disney for it, but they do like all these different rides to Disney themed music, and you're like, oh, okay. And it actually is like the Moana one and stuff is quite cool because Moana has good music, Frozen has good music, stuff like that. So when you actually ride it, you can like resonate with the music that's playing.
You can get the kids involved as well, Mark.
Yeah, seriously.
Absolutely. Do you have pineapple on a pizza?
Yeah, 100%. This is a daily debate that we have in this house. We actually got pizza tonight, and I never get pineapple because Chantal doesn't like pineapple on pizza. And I'm like, how do you not like pineapple on pizza? When I'm at home, I just eat pineapple on pizza basically every day just because I know I'm not going to get it here. But yeah, I'm a huge pineapple on pizza girl.
I think Chantal needs to compromise a little bit more.
Yeah, seriously, half and half.
True, yeah. Why don't you just do that?
I don't know. We've never really thought about it.
But Chantal is a fussy person. She'll probably be like, no, it's going to affect my side of the pizza.
It'll drip. Yeah, the dripping.
He's going to come barging in soon and say, what are you saying?
Yeah, maybe we should get her on the next podcast and she could defend herself.
Yeah, I think so. Get out of the screen.
Okay, how would you finish this sentence? I love basketball because...
Oh, that's a good one. I would say because it brings people together. Like you get to experience people that you would have never otherwise met or been around, and cultures that you usually wouldn't associate with. Like for me, I would never, why else in my life would I be in London doing anything if it weren't for vacation, if I didn't play basketball? So I think the ability to bring people together, no matter what your culture is, no matter what your skin color is, no matter what you believe in or where you're from, I think it has an incredible ability to do that.
Nice.
No, I think that's a lovely place to finish this. So Kennedy, I really appreciate your time. It's been fascinating to kind of hear your story a little bit and your thoughts ahead of the big game on Sunday. Good luck in the final. I think I want to wish you that. I think.
Yeah, you do. You do.
I'm surprised you said that.
But yeah, it's going to be a great spectacle on Sky Sports, and yeah, put on a good show.
Yeah, break some records.
We'll do our best.
What is the record for number of assists in a cup final? Do we know?
I think I saw it the other day somewhere. It was either 14. Yeah, I think it was 14. 14
Easy.
or something like that. Yeah. Yeah, I saw it the other day. I didn't even think about it, but it is, yeah, that's a good goal to have.
Yeah.
Good goal to have.
And I know for the points it's 30 or 31. I wanna
Okay,
say.
that's breakable.
Yeah.
Somebody on our team could get that. Joe, maybe somebody,
Yeah.
depending on minutes and stuff like that. Yeah.
Right. Who's
Yeah.
going off?
Yeah.
Records broken all over the place.
Maybe it'll be somebody from Newcastle. You never know.
True.
That's it. We don't know. We don't know who's going to be there.
I don't even know who will be suited up, but we'll see.
But yeah, really appreciate your time and hopefully speak to you soon.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for having me.